Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. This is Michelle Reads YA, and this is the first time I've sat down in front of this setup in like a month, so weird. If you've been keeping up with my channel, I have been doing the alphabet project, so I've just been like vlogging really for a very long time, so yeah, this is going to be a wrap up. I don't have any books in front of me. I'm gonna put them all on the screen because they're mostly all in an unhaul pile now that just like I don't want to deal with. So okay. I believe for the month of November it says that I read 32 books. I'm gonna go through this really fast. No, I did not read more than one book a day. For the alphabet project, it takes me about like a week to finish these books, and most of them I finished in October, so that's just how that goes. So let's do this really fast. The first book that I read for November was Falling by Tj Newman. I believe I gave this 4 stars. Wow, I was feeling generous. I really like this. It felt like a Bruce Willis movie, so like if they ever make this into a movie, he could totally be the pilot. My review is super good. Let me read it to you. I don't really have an intelligent review for this other than it was fast-paced and I liked it a lot. And that's like it. It felt like a movie. I recently found out that the author is actually a female, which was cool. So like it was an action-packed like kind of thriller, and it was like a woman, and I was like cool. And so I liked it. I like this one. 4 stars. If you just need like to not think while you're reading or listening to an audiobook or whatever, I highly suggest this one. The next book that I read and ultimately DNF was Champion by Marie Lu. So I had been on a journey to like finally finish the series, and the whole NFT thing happened while I was reading Champion, which really honestly affected how I felt about this book. So way to go, Marie Lu. Also, I just felt like I absolutely did not care about these characters, and like maybe I was making myself care about them for the first 2 books, but like absolutely did not. And like after the whole NFT thing, I was just like, you're stupid, goodbye. The next book that I read was Roxy by Neil Schusterman and Jared Schusterman. I gave this 3 stars. This book was interesting, and it was definitely, I guess, different from what I expected. It's about these 2 siblings who are each like addicted to their own prescription drug, and you actually get like a perspective from the drug, which I didn't like. And I think that's why my rating is 3 stars. Otherwise, like, I thought the premise was good. If you want to read a book about drug use, I highly suggest Heroin by Mindy McGinnis. That book I still think about all the time, and I read it over 2 years ago. So like, I don't think Roxy was the best book in this genre or whatever, in the subject matter. I think Heroin is, so okay. And then I went into the Alphabet Project A, and I will put that up above, but what I read was All Rights Reserved, Anger is a Gift, All American Muslim Girl, Angus Songs in Full Frontal Snogging, and Always Never Yours. A lot of them I DNF'd. I will say that my favorite book out of this group was Always Never Yours by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca, and I gave that 5 stars. It's still on my shelf. Like, I still have it. I love it. I will revisit it. So good. And then I finished the Alphabet Project B, and I'll put that up above. And I read The Broken Girls Backlash. I read the Broken Heart series by Katie Finn, who's also Morgan Matson. I read Broken Things. I read The Beauty That Remains. I read Beautiful Broken Things. I loved The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. I gave that 5 stars. And I love the Broken Heart series by Morgan Matson. Overall, 2 of the books got 4 stars and 1 of the books got 3 stars. They're all still on my shelf, so everything else I DNF'd or unhauled. Okay. The next book that I reread was 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston, because I am starting to get into a reading slump, so I always start to reread books that I really loved, and this is a Christmas book, so I reread 10 Blind Dates and still gave it 4 stars and still really liked it, so I really suggest this one. The next book that I listened to was Take Me With You When You Go by David Levithan and Jennifer Niven. I gave this 3 stars. My review goes something like this. I think this was supposed to make me feel emotional, but it made me feel bored. And I like hard-hitting books, and I just like felt nothing, and I was reading like other 3-star reviews, and that was like the consensus. So the next book that I read was Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I will say that this is probably one of my favorite Riley Sagers, and I gave it 3 stars. I will also say that I unhauled it. All the Riley Sagers off of my shelves. I've finally now read all my Riley Sagers, and I don't like Riley Sager. So I'm still going to read like all his books. I'm just not going to buy them. Like, you know, I'm going to do this to myself, okay? The next book that I DNF'd was Nick and Noel's Christmas Playlist by Cody Hall. This is just like included on Audible, so I went for it, and I believe that these characters are like in their 30s. They're like adults, okay? And there was just so much slut shaming, and I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So I DNF'd it. The next book that I actually listened to was Holiday Fling by Nicole R. Locker. I got this off Scribd. It was like 4 hours. It was cute. I think I gave it 3 stars. I literally don't have a review for it. It was just like I needed to read something, so I did. And it was 3 stars. The next of my books are part of the Alphabet Project C, and I'll put that above. It was The Conspiracy of Us, Challenger Deep, Confessions, The Chalk Man, The Couple Next Door, and Chasing Lucky. The only one I really liked out of this set was Confessions by Kane Manato. I gave this 4 stars. It was so good. I still think about it a lot. I absolutely love the ending. I will say that the audiobook was not my favorite, so if you're looking to like read this book, I would suggest probably physically reading it, because the audiobook was not great. So, well, the book was great, so that's good. The next books that I read were Heartstopper Volume 1, 2, and 3. I finally did it. I have been talking about doing it, and I finally did it. So Volume 1 was a reread, and it was just as good as how I remember it. And then Volume 2 and 3 I had read for the first time, and Volume 2 was cute. Volume 3 was heavy. I guess I didn't read reviews about it, but it got heavy really fast with Nick, and I wish I had like read about some trigger warnings, and I did not, so that's my fault. But I will say it was heavy. I still gave it 5 stars. They all got 5 stars. They're just like great. They're just so great. But the third one was heavy, and I assume that the fourth one's going to be heavy as well, so be on the lookout for that. And then the next 2, okay, so I got 50% into The People in the Trees by Yanagara, sorry. And I started reading it because I saw someone talking about it on TikTok, and it was just absolutely not my book. I will be reading A Little Life for the Alphabet Project. Like, I know I'm gonna read it, so like just know it's coming. But this is the author's debut, and I thought the premise like from this TikToker sounded like so good, and then I got to actually reading it, and it was not. It's just not my book. I was reading like good reviews for it, and people were like blown away, and then I was reading like 3-star reviews and people were like, no. So I was on the no train. And then the last book that I read, I don't know. I read that in December, so we'll talk about that next month. But anyway, so that's all the books that I read for November. It was a lot. I'm sorry this is so short, but if you really want to get an in-depth like perception of all the books that I read, I definitely recommend going back and looking at my Alphabet Projects, where I just talk about all these books that I read for the Alphabet Project. The goal of the Alphabet Project is to get the books off my shelves that I already own. So I am doing D. I'm in a book club. I'm in like a life club. So yeah. So thanks for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye.